Chapter 1: Humble Wisdom. In 2014, when Satya Nadella stepped into the role of chief executive at Microsoft, a quiet revolution began. He listened to the voices inside the company, from interns on cafeteria tables to seasoned developers in meeting rooms. His first lesson of wisdom and leadership was that the most powerful leaders are those who hear others first. He once said that a company's success is not about products, but about people. This idea is the heart of his approach. Lead with empathy, learn from everyone, and never stop asking questions. A memorable story from his early days in India illustrates this. While still a young engineer, Satya observed that a senior colleague struggled with a new programming language. Instead of ignoring the problem, he approached the mentor, studied the concept, and then shared the knowledge with the entire team. That simple act of sharing grew confidence in the colleague and created a ripple of open learning. The wisdom here is simple. Great leaders give without expecting fame. From this experience, Satya learned that curiosity fuels growth. He regularly schedules learning days at Microsoft, where employees pause to read new research, watch documentaries, or attend workshops. He encourages everyone, even himself, to treat every challenge as an opportunity for discovery. If you want to grow, he says, ask what if before you say why not. The practical takeaway for you is to create a habit of active listening. The next time you enter a conversation, note one thing you do not know. Ask a question at the end that invites further discussion. Then write a quick note in a journal about what you learned. Share this practice with a colleague. The act of teaching solidifies your own understanding. Conclusion for this chapter. Wisdom in leadership comes from humility, curiosity, and a sincere desire to learn from others. It is a continuous cycle of listening, sharing, and growing. Like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom and leadership. Reflective question. Who in your life has taught you something you never expected, and how can you turn that moment into an opportunity to lead? Chapter 2: The Growth Mindset. Satya Nadella emphasizes that the greatest competitors are your own past assumptions. One of his core principles is the growth mindset. He believes that talent is just the starting point. Attitude and lifelong learning dictate success. When the corporate world rushed to new technologies, Satya insisted that employees should experiment, fail, and iterate instead of fearing mistake. He famously said that failure is a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Another story shows how he applied this principle. In 2016, Microsoft launched a new cloud platform. Instead of pushing a rigid roadmap, Satya assembled cross-functional teams to test ideas in quick cycles. A team that originally planned to rebuild an entire system instead built a small prototype that exceeded performance expectations, saving millions of dollars in development time. Satya's wisdom was that progress is achieved through iterative learning, not perfect planning. The key lesson for listeners: adopt a stance of possibility. Whenever a setback appears, reframe it as information. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And how can that insight drive future choices? You can start by choosing one project where you intentionally allow small failures and observe the results. Document the lessons, then share them with your peers. Remember that the most valuable leaders grow with their teams, not separately from them. Practical steps to embrace the growth mindset. 1. List 3 assumptions you hold about your work or your abilities. 2. Pick one day a month to test those assumptions with a small experiment. 3. After the experiment, write down 3 insights and share them with a mentor or colleague. Conclusion: a growth mindset transforms challenges into opportunities. It turns everyday work into a laboratory of learning. Like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom and leadership. Reflective question. What current limiting belief can you challenge today to unlock new possibilities? Chapter 3: Empathy in Action. Satya's leadership is rooted in empathy. He once described leadership as the ability to connect with others' experiences, not merely to manage tasks. Empathy, he says, is the cornerstone of a collaborative culture. As a leader, he made a rule: never ask a question without first asking whether the other person can answer it. An illustrative moment was when a Microsoft engineer expressed anxiety about a project deadline. Instead of pushing for faster work, Satya met with the engineer, discussed personal challenges, and reallocated resources to provide support. The engineer's performance improved, and the team learned to prioritize well-being. Satya's message was clear: caring for people enhances productivity. To practice empathy, start with the principle ask before you act. When you see a teammate under pressure, pause and ask how they are doing. Listen genuinely for 5 minutes before offering solutions. Then, based on what you heard, propose concrete actions, such as shifting priorities or adding resources. Remember that empathy is not passive, it is an active invitation to help. Another practical exercise is perspective journaling. Set aside 10 minutes each week to write from someone else's viewpoint, whether a colleague, a customer, or a competitor. This exercise broadens your understanding of diverse motivations and challenges, preparing you to lead in more inclusive ways. Conclusion: empathy is the bridge between vision and execution. Leaders who center compassion create resilient teams, while teams who trust their leaders grow faster. Like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom and leadership. Reflective question: when was the last time you truly listened to someone without offering a solution, and how might that change your leadership? Chapter 4: Inclusive Innovation. Satya's leadership style emphasizes inclusiveness as a driver of innovation. He believes that the richest ideas arise when diverse voices are heard. His policy of all-hands meetings invites contributions from everyone, regardless of title or tenure. He reminds everyone that curiosity is amplified when people feel safe to speak up. A concrete example: during the early years of Microsoft's transition to cloud services, Satya encouraged junior engineers to present prototypes in company forums. A junior developer presenting a low-power algorithm won recognition and was adapted across Microsoft's products, saving energy worldwide. This story shows that inclusive environments unlock hidden talent and scalable solutions. To apply inclusive innovation, adopt these steps. 1. Create an idea inbox, where anyone can submit suggestions anonymously. 2. Schedule regular open forums, where ideas are discussed with no judgment. 3. Recognize contributors publicly, celebrating both big and small successes. Another tip is to actively seek opinions from people who differ from you. Ask a colleague from a different department or a stakeholder outside your organization about their perspective on an ongoing project. This cross-polling can reveal blind spots and open new pathways for improvement. Conclusion: inclusive innovation thrives when every voice is valued. Leaders who create space for all perspectives build cultures that adapt and excel. Like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom and leadership. Reflective question: how can you make your next meeting more inclusive so that every voice is heard? Chapter 5: The Ongoing Journey. Satya's wisdom teaches that leadership is not a destination, but an ongoing journey of learning, empathy, and growth. He consistently reminds his teams that a leader's value is measured by the elevation they bring to those around them. His own career is a testament. From engineer to CEO, he has leveraged curiosity, humility, and inclusive thinking to transform Microsoft into a leading cloud provider. What can you do next? 1. Set a personal growth challenge for the next 30 days that forces you to step out of comfort. 2. Dedicate a weekly time slot to practice active listening and empathy. 3. Initiate a monthly cross-team idea session to harness diverse viewpoints. 4. Keep a reflective journal where you note each leadership lesson learned, reinforcing the cycle of wisdom. Remember the core principles: curiosity, growth mindset, empathy, and inclusiveness. Each principle interlocks, creating a foundation that supports resilient, visionary leadership. As you move forward, apply them consistently and observe how they transform your personal growth and the success of those you lead. Reflection: leadership is continuous. How will you commit to this evolving practice? Like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom and leadership.